30-minute session for a client. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one for a psychic session, I'll put a link in the description to my website. I'm going to go ahead and read the goals here and get started. Okay. Hey, Abby. I would like you to channel my mom's dad for the first half of the session, and for the second half to channel my dad's dad and see if they have any messages they would like to share with them. I feel this will be good for them, and thank you. Okay, so I'm going to channel your mom's dad. Okay. So when I do that, I'm going to tap into his energy and then share a message from him directly to her. So I'll be talking to your mom, okay? And then channel your dad's dad. Okay. All right. I'm going to relax now and get tuned in here. Let's see what we discover. And thank you so much for exploring this experience with me, sharing it with your parents, sharing it with others. I really appreciate it. We're going to learn so much together. Okay, here we go. Your mom's dad. Okay. Just give me a moment to tune in. Okay. Oh, I don't know how, like, the word squirrely comes to mind. I feel squirrely in my heart, and I'm kind of walking through like a really crooked hallway. Like the wall is slanted in there, and then it's like wooden floor, and I'm just kind of working my way through. I don't like this. This might be, I mean, it feels to me like it's your dad's energy, and I could be picking up on something kind of carrying over from the life. That happens because I'm a healer. So I'm just going to go with it, okay? And I feel really angry and frustrated. This also can be a message for you at the same time. I'm going to walk down this hallway as best I can as this experience. And I'm going to go, it might be really weird, okay? But I'm just like, nyeh, 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 nyeh. I feel like a weird squirrel walking through my weird squirrel house, and the walls and everything are crooked and nothing is straight, and I feel kind of squirrely inside. So I'm just and I'm snapping my fingers, and we're just like winding back time, or it's like I'm altering this energy flow so we can come back into balance. There's a major imbalance going on here. It's going to take work. Coming into balance takes work. Your dad's saying this. And he can't say that he was in perfect balance himself. And coming into balance takes work, and sometimes it takes help too. Because if you're out of balance and you're trying to bring yourself into balance, how are you going to do that if you don't even know what balance is? So you need to work with other people who understand balance in those places that you are out of balance, and receive help from those balanced people to get you into balance. And he says it's okay to ask for help. It's definitely okay. It's almost like he could have asked for help more in his life, but maybe he was too stubborn or had too much pride, or maybe he didn't want to admit that he was out of balance. But he's saying this, okay? He's going to go back. He wants me to go back to being like this weird, like squirrely, like, I'm not sure why I have to do this, but I do. So I just have to do this, okay? Like, I'm like just still moving, and I'm feeling like kind of curled up, like my muscles are like really tight and curled up, and I am not. Just loosen up, it's okay. Relax. And it's hard to relax. It's hard. I mean, my muscles are really tight, and everything's just really jammed tight, and I feel curled up, and it's a squirrely feeling. Winding down. Relax. This isn't easy to relax. Not easy. It's going to take effort. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take work. I keep thinking about time ticking. Time is ticking, ticking, ticking away. So it's like, and I'm rewinding time to wind back time, to wind down, to relax, relax, relax. I'm still seeing what is off balanced walls, and I don't feel as squirrely. And your dad really wants me to participate in this energy, and I feel like it's to heal a part of himself, but there may be a parallel to something here because he's also talking to you about importance of understanding balance and asking for help. And he really emphasizes this, not just to you, but to everybody here, because sometimes we forget that when we get out of balance, we're looking and seeking for guidance, or maybe we're trying to just live life as we are. It's going to be hard to come into balance without being around somebody who's balanced in order to kind of learn how to become balanced yourself. Okay, I'm almost through this message. I'm almost through it, so I'm just creating breathability and relaxation. We're just like all of that stress and that tight muscles and everything, we're just winding down again. And I'm actually getting to a point where it's starting to feel way more relaxed. Like we could sit down and have a conversation now. And it wants to be open, but it's challenged at being open. Like, maybe, I don't know if this, just think about this, okay? Is it possible that um, maybe your dad had more to say to you than he was able to say, or maybe it was uncomfortable talking to him or having straight talk with him. Basically, I'm inside the squirrel house now, and there's some wooden places to sit down and a wooden table. And so he's sitting here and he's like, come sit down and relax and talk to me. And there's a beautiful crackling fire in this wooden tree house. Nothing is burning here, but it's very welcoming. It's very serene. I love the lighting in here. It's very relaxed. But it feels like there's this distance, like maybe I don't trust you, or is this real, or so there's a weird energy resistance, and I'm trying to go sit down, and I can't do it for some reason. So I'm you, and I'm working on sitting down at the table and sitting with your dad, okay? As though you are with your dad. And there could be this means there's something unresolved between you both, okay? Which is fine. I mean, we're here, we're working through stuff in these lifetimes. This happened, okay? But as I get you to sit down, because I'm here to help, I'm like this like middle person, so I'm here to help. So I'm having you sit down, and you're actually finding this more comforting, less resistant. There's something you're mad at your dad about. I say just talk about it. Just talk about it. This is not easy. I almost had to be you, and then I had to go be him, and then I have to go be you, and then have to go be him, because again, there's this like, you can't like just talk to each other. It doesn't matter how adorable the squirrel house is. No amount of things looking comfortable or looking inviting is helping to create the inviting interaction. So I'm just going to let this space just kind of set this over here. You're there with your father, and you're able to have this conversation, but you're working through having it, okay? And I'm just going to go to a higher vantage point, and then I'm just going to go talk to your dad now, okay? So we'll just set that over here. Okay, so as I go to a higher vantage point, I feel choked in my throat and in my heart, and there's a strange energy fluctuation going on here, and it's pulled tight, like so if it's a heart and throat imbalance, it's going to be hard to speak from the heart, okay? Because it's just like the rubber band, the energy just, it's not free to flow. It's just really tight. This is something major here. Your dad really wants to talk about this. And I'm letting your energy go so I don't feel any disruption, because it's almost like when, like, now that you're kind of in the picture here and we're working through this, it's hard for me because I feel this restriction in you. So I have to send your energy back to yourself so I can just talk to him. You see again, it's like, here I'll be you, and then I'll be him, and then I'll be you. It's like, you guys just talk to each other. Like, what is between you both, you know? So we'll just send that back. I'm just gonna talk to him. Okay, show us the next thing that you want to share. I saw there's definitely something about birds here, and we're talking about like heron type birds. They have like kind of a goofy neck, and they're very elegant, very long, and they like fish, you know, and they like stand by the shore. They're very elegant, beautiful birds. I'm sure I've looked up this a heron. Is that what they're called? Like the spirit of this bird. Like it's got a lot of positive, high vibrational messages to it. If you see them, it's like a really high vibrational, like psychic kind of sign in a way. It's really with higher dimensional realms. And your dad is showing me this bird, and it's very majestic and breathtaking. It's very beautiful. I love the curvature of it. I love it's elegant. It's balanced. It's sleek. It's majestic. I mean, it is a majestic bird. He tries to show me this picture where the heron is off balance, but he can't get this heron to look off balance. It always is in balance. It has to be, otherwise it's not able to function. It's not able to be itself. And so the bird is perfectly in balance. Its legs, its body, its neck, its face, its beak, like its intentions, its instinct is in the balance. It's essential that it is in the balance. It has to be. If it is not, it will not survive in the wild. And it's important that you are in balance too. Okay, what else? What else would you like to share? I understand this with the balance. What is it with the relationship? What is blocking you both for communication? And he's basically, you just have to let him in to your heart. You're going to have to let him into your heart, not your head, okay? Not your mind. Like, let him into your heart. Let him. Okay, hold on here. I mean, it really feels like you have an energy barrier, and it's not just your dad. It just feels like maybe you have to say a safety barrier. A lot of us do, because we don't need to let people in, right? Because we just, maybe it's safer this way, but you actually do need to let people in. Do you maybe struggle with trust issues, or maybe you have memories of your heart, you know, maybe people taking advantage of you, or if you had heartbreak, or it just feels like you have a very wide parameter, where you have your bubble, right? But your bubble's got like a really wide parameter. You're gonna have to explore just letting this relax, okay? It feels like you want to be strong and independent, but you're not looking at it. It's like, let me just try to find the best way to define this. Because when I dissolve your energy field, I feel that you want to be strong and independent. You're able to think for yourself and do for yourself. However, there's a big kind of white blanket over your eyes. So how are you going to be able to think and do for yourself if you're not seeing the bigger picture? you're not seeing everything. You're not seeing everything. It makes you vulnerable when I say that, which is okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say you're right, I don't see everything. I mean, Abbey, don't see everything either. I'm just a human being. I can connect with the spirit realm, but that I still don't see everything because I can't conceivably do that. I'm working with a finite human mind. I can only see so much, you know? So, okay, I want to stick around for just one more minute. What's one more thing I can share? I mean, I feel like this is just the beginning, that you opening up is going to open you up to so much healing and so much love. And you are definitely worthy of it, okay? I'm gonna go back to the squirrel house, and I just want to see, is it the nut house? I don't know, squirrel house. I feel squirrely, I feel nutty. I don't know. Just wondering here, you know. So let's just go back and see what else we can discover real quick. You are alone at the table this time. And you are shy, and you aren't allowing yourself to see that your dad is here. But you are drinking a kind of a, I mean, it's flavorful. Hotter, it's a warm drink. It's not cocoa and it's not coffee. I don't know how to understand the flavor. It's got a nutty flavor to it. And you need to let love in. You need to let love deeply into your heart. It will heal you to the core of your soul to do this. And just think about how you feel comfortable letting people in close to your heart. And think about how you can interact with your dad from the heart. But allow him to have a heart too that you can feel and tap into his love for you, and to feel the true love you have for him within yourself, right? We all have our experiences with each other, and some of them are going to be good memories, some of them aren't going to be the best, but deep down inside we deeply love everybody, you know. And like, to feel how deeply loved you are by your dad's spirit is, oh my gosh, so heartwarming, so beautiful. We're like in the heart of the tree where the squirrel lives, and it's starting to come into balance now. And you yourself are starting to feel better in your heart, actually, just talking about it, just thinking about it, just being open-minded to it. It's already shifting you into a better balance. Love is doing that. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to just go ahead and relax. I'm going to have to send all that energy over there so I can tap into your dad's dad now, okay? It was really wonderful tapping and visiting your mom's dad. I'd love to get to know him more. So I'm still clearing my energy field. Still clearing it, still clearing it. Still shifting, still shifting. Coming back to myself, disconnecting more. Letting it go. Okay. I'm just going to step out in the universe. And I'm going to be talking to your dad this time. I'm going to connect with his dad. So I'm just going to go out in the stars. Welcome him to come. What messages would you like to share today? It's very weird. Like my ears and my tongue. My nose. Are these like senses, like hearing, smelling, tasting, sight? It feels give me a minute. It's just so I'm like shifting in a totally different energy experience. So I need to acclimate to it in order to define it better. All right, I'm just gonna have to just explain what comes next. Um, I see a really bright star, and it's like a Christmas star, but it's not on the tree, so it's not super high in the sky. It's more in front of me, and I'm walking towards it, and I'm really tired, and I'm kind of lumbering like this way and that way, and I'm like really trying with all my might to not give up, so that I can reach this star. But it feels like one of those dreams where it doesn't matter how much you walk or how fast you go or slow you go, like you'll never get there. You'll never get to that goal. You're never going to make it, like legit. You won't. It's always going to be kind of like the dangling carrot that you'll never get. It's just leading you, it's just guiding your path, but it's not meant for you to have that thing. It's not meant for you to get to that goal. It's just meant for that goal to guide your path. However, your path feels like it's lost its senses, like you know when we feel super bright like that bright star, we everything is the best sound and taste and smell, even if it's not that great. It's like life is truly alive and it's thriving, you know. This is like I am like exhausted and I am tired of this very long walk, and just let me have the thing so I can be done. But no. And it's just draining you of your feeling activated and passionate inside. I'm just going to stop you from this walk. And you're going to have to really, because I mean, sight is not necessarily the, like, I've got to really help you to see something. And I'm literally not going to allow you to see that star. I'm just going to make it so you can't see that star at all. Because you got to look in a different direction. You're going to have to change the energy vibes. You're going to have to do it different. Otherwise, you're almost like a zombie continuing to go towards... It's like... I'm just not going to let you walk anymore. And you really don't know how to stop. You don't know how, you can't stop the drive. Like, no matter how tired I get, no matter how long it takes, no matter what, I'm going to keep going no matter what. It's like, it's, I don't know, is this your dad or is this your dad's dad? Like, is this, I mean, I'm literally seeing a man who just needs to, this drive is dead. This drive died a long time ago. Like, is stop going for the star, because it's drying you out. It's just making so there's nothing worth tasting or hearing. Like it's just making the senses, dulling the passion. Anger, there's something in really like very angry. And it's just like an instant like hit, like I'm just like that. It's not like it just kind of comes down with a sledgehammer, one hard pound, and then it just stops there, but it's still kind of like got this like aggression, but it doesn't just keep waving. The waves don't keep rippling out. It just kind of hits and then it kind of calms down, but it's still there. It's going to take some serious work here because there's some misunderstandings. And I feel like this is your dad wanting you to see something important, and either it's important within himself, your father, or it's important within you. And maybe it's the same. Maybe you are sharing similar experiences. Maybe you adopted something of your father's. You're really angry right now. I see a man sitting down. What's interesting though is the anger doesn't really activate any thinking. It doesn't really activate any new decisions or a new approach. It just feels angry, but it doesn't get louder and louder and louder. It just kind of maintains this like mellow pound of anger, like one really loud beat on the drum, and then it just silences, but it's still there until it just hits and then it's silence. Like it doesn't get out of control, but it is felt. And it's stubborn, and it doesn't like being told that it doesn't like being stopped. I feel inspired to put you into a space of time where you're not, it's just like, you don't want that anyway. It's not what you think. It's literally like the carrot you're never going to have because you're never meant to have it. And so just, you need to just, there's another approach, there's another way. So I'm just continuing to ripple that information through you. I mean, you don't want to stop with all your might. You don't want to stop. Like nobody says no to you. Like nobody tells you what you can and can't have. Not easy to break this down, not easy to shift it. I'm just going to let that be. I'm just going to go to your dad again, okay? I mean, he speaks in such an unusual way, like in the energy side of things. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. Let's just say I'm going to try my best to explain this image. It's chalky, so the flavor is not great, right? So I'm kind of like, I've lost my taste. I can't hear anything, but dang it, I'm never gonna stop, and I will get to that star. It's like all the color of life is draining out. All right, so in this new scene, it's like chalky, gross. It's just like, what does chalk taste like? It's just like more of a texture than a flavor. It's just though. It's not nice. And there's like a man whose face is like pulled into a black button in the center, and it's about black and white. But he's also saying something else because he's speaking in a totally different language, like, because it's not about black and white. It's like you would think it is about black and white. You would think it is about what I like and what I don't like. There's a message that you need to translate beneath the surface of what you think. And sometimes what you think is not going to be comprehensible to what is real, like what you think, and now what is actually beneath the surface of what you think might not be easy to understand, but you need to start deciphering like the inner messages. Because I'm trying to go beneath the surface of this, because your dad is basically showing me this weird image, and then beneath the surface there's these strange grooves, and it's supposed to be some kind of alien language, okay? And it's like, I don't know what it's saying because I can't read it, all right? Because I'm not meant to. I'm not meant to understand what it's saying because it's meant to be an alien language that I can't understand, okay? Because that's part of the message. It's not black and white. It's not clear as day, okay? But this is actually fun. It's fun to be challenged by something that's going to challenge your mind, to challenge your way of thinking, challenge you to figure this out. And in the time that it takes to unravel this mystery, you're disconnected from just looking at the star. And your dad's saying there's more to life than just one thing. There's everything. And then when you think that you see and understand everything, there's so much you don't know, like this alien language. Like, what is that I'm looking at right now? Ew, this is chalky. Oh, now you know what chalky tastes like. Like, it's like there's so many flavors to life. And this is how you make life more a sensory experience. You experience life. You have to allow yourself to diversify. Like there's so much to experience. I kind of am understanding him now. If you feel life has dulled your senses, you're really missing the point. Because when you let life, when you yourself create an experience that has dulled your senses, you stopped living a long time ago. And so you got to ask yourself, how do I live now? How do I live? You taste things that are gross. You eat things you've never eaten before, and you might be pleasantly surprised. You do things that are outside the box. You translate an alien message. You have no idea what this is saying. Like, you do different things. You do different things. And whatever you can do to work outside the box of black and white is going to really benefit you. Life is going to be so abundantly bright and interesting and colorful and sensory and great, and you're going to be living. Don't get caught up in one thing or one direction or one dream. Expand your horizons to all the stars in the sky, all of the tastes, the flavors, the sounds. Really bring in as much as you can of new and interesting and different, whether you like it or not, experiences, because that is how you live. That is how you truly live. So let me just see if there's anything else. He wants that vibration to ring through your system. Ring. That is how you truly live. All right. Wow, so cool. That was fun. I really enjoyed that so much. I just got to know two really awesome grandpas or dads spirits, and I got to know your mom and your dad. Like, I got to know so much. Like, I really enjoyed this so much. Thank you very much for this experience. I feel like I've learned a lot myself. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I also offer sessions for those on Patreon at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Have a great day, everybody.